Michael.
And welcome to Uplift Stitches. We are a married couple, and this channel is a place where we talk about cross stitching.
Yes, and sometimes our other hobbies as well, such as board gaming. But
that's right. But today is all about cross stitching and Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
It's time for our WIP Parade.
A WIP Parade! Yay! So this is gonna be fun. I think Melanie has way more WIPs than I do, so it'll be a little bit of alternating. But I think she has 30 WIPs.
Yes.
Yeah, I have 8. So. Still in single digits. I think next year probably will be over double digits, but depends how many finishes I get.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay.
But I have all my 8 WIPs all piled up here ready. But I'll let you start since you have way more WIPs than I.
Well, first we just want to say hello and welcome.
Oh yes, hello, welcome.
If you're new here, as I said, this is a channel where we primarily talk about cross stitch. I know that some new people kind of come around just to watch WIP Parade, so I thought we'd do just a brief introduction of ourselves.
Yeah, so I've been stitching for about 4 years? A little over 4 years?
A little more. I think
almost 5 years.
You started in 2019?
Yes, 2019. Like I said, it's about 6 years ago.
Almost,
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I've been stitching about 6 years. You got me into the project, into the habit.
Yes, I started stitching in the mid-90s. I remember my mom taught me. I think I purchased something with some babysitting money.
Yeah, and I haven't seen you stitch for a while, and I was like, you need to teach me how to do that so that I can start stitching.
Yeah, as I said, we've been married. For 9 years.
9 years, yes. Yeah. It doesn't seem like that long. It's been wonderful 9 years. So,
we live in Missouri. About an hour north of St. Louis.
And more importantly, about an hour north of Colour&Cotton.
That's our local cross stitch store.
Which we. We've lived in Missouri all our lives pretty much, but we have traveled a lot. I've been to all the 50 states, and Melanie's been to quite a few.
Yeah.
So, cross stitch is one of the hobbies we share. We also have some other hobbies we share, gaming, board games, and tabletop role playing games. We like to travel and camp, that kind of fun stuff. So. Yeah,
we're so glad that you've stopped by to visit with us today. If you're a returning friend, it's so nice to see you again. We hope that you're doing well.
Yes, and look forward to sharing some of our WIPs now with you.
Yeah, so as Michael said, I have a lot of WIPs, so I think we're going to kind of I'll show 3 or 4, and then he'll show 1.
Yeah.
We'll kind of go back and forth. Do you want to talk about WIP storage?
WIP storage, okay.
How do you... Michael is chaos.
I don't have quite as organized WIP storage as he has. I don't have enough project bags.
Okay, we'll work on it.
I have some of my project bags are used to store some of my projects because I just don't have enough space for them. But my other ones, I have a bin that I have next to where I sit, and usually I have several projects out at a time because I used to be a monogamous stitcher when I first started, and I since migrated to stitching. I usually do a thread or 2 on most projects, and I'll do 2 or 3 projects in the evening typically.
Yeah.
Sometimes 4, but usually 2 or 3.
And you kind of have your stuff.
It tends to spread out around me. Coffee table, couch next to the little. So it's. I don't always put it all away right away because it's just us live here and. There's not a lot of incentive necessarily to put away since the next night I'm going to be taking those same things out again. And that has improved a little bit since I've reorganized my cross threads. When I got the box for storing all my threads in one spot, it's gotten a little easier because I don't have to look through different projects for different threads, which used to happen a lot.
Yeah.
So that has helped a little bit, but at least the ones that I'm working on, I try to only have 1 project in a bag. That doesn't always successful. As I said, I don't have enough project bags.
Yeah.
But I try to keep 1 per bag ones I'm actually actively stitching on. So that's kind of how I store most of mine. Most of these have been given to us, either made by you. There's one special gift that I want to talk about when we get to it. And some of them have been stitched by your mom, put together by your mom, the project bags. So that's kind of my collection. I'm going to show off my project bags as we're doing.
Yeah, that's going to be part of our parade today.
But,
I keep mine in a bag on the end table at the end of the couch where I sit, and this is what it looks like. I bought it at Target a couple years ago, and I keep as many WIPs as I can in here. This year I have exceeded the limit of my bag, so I have, I think, 4 or 5 bags that don't fit in here.
So we need some overflow
I need
storage.
to work on, I'm planning on doing WIP Go this next year, so hopefully that'll help me
We could invest in some overflow storage if you need.
I don't want overflow storage.
I don't want to discourage you
I'm
from
at 30.
WIPs.
So this last year, I accidentally started 50 things.
That's okay.
I didn't intend to, but it just sort of happened.
I've started probably.
So that just means my bin is very full. It's overflowing. So this is going to be a good exercise to do this WIP parade and help me see what I have to start out this year.
Whatever you want to do. If you need more storage, you just say the word.
I'm not saying any words.
So I support her. I support her hobbies. I enable her to do whatever she wants.
Thank you. I love you also. Okay, are we ready to start?
We are ready. You go ahead and start because
okay.
I will.
As Michael said, we're going to be showing bags. I have unzipped mine, so hopefully there'll be less sound. We did not iron anything.
We didn't iron anything, so
if
there will be
some
folds and things in it.
I'm not sorry. We've been very busy. We had family in town the last week.
It's been a very busy week or so.
Today, after we film this, we're going to a game day with our friends, so we're excited about that.
Yes.
I'm going to try not to talk too fast, but I know we have a little bit
I'll
of time.
try to remind you to slow down if you need to. So.
Okay, so my first project is in this bag made for me by my mom with some Care Bear fabric, and I know she followed Vanna Pfeiffer's project envelope tutorial, but it's got this fun gingham inside. And this houses my Loose Feathers for the Bird series by Blackbird Designs. There are 9 of these, and I have finished 8, so I only have 1 more. Here is what it looks like right now. I am using all of the recommended DMC colors, and I'm stitching this on 40 count Oaken by Picture This Plus. I'm stitching it 1/2. I started this in May of 2021. And I think this will be the year that I finish it because I only have this 1 block left. So I don't have plans for when that will happen, but I know that it will happen at some point. And the 1 block that I have left is the last ripe berries. So at some point this year, this will be finished. But this is my oldest project.
But it will be finished soon, I'm sure.
Yes.
It's close.
Yes. Okay.
That's project number 1.
I need to think about where I'm going to put these.
Here, I can probably put them over this direction.
Okay, we can do that.
You have way more to store than I do.
Okay, my second oldest project is one I did not touch in 2024. I think I also did not touch it in 2023. It is in just a boring legal document envelope. And this is Floral Dice by White Raven Patterns on Etsy. This was something I had started and sometime in the summer of 2021. I didn't write down exactly when, but I wanted to make a bag for my dice because at that time we had started a in-person D&D campaign.
We had.
It only lasted like 2 sessions.
We may be starting a new one soon, though.
So I stitched this on. I don't know the fabric. It's a mystery. I'm trying to see which way this goes. I think it goes this direction. And this is where I am. So I'm stitching this 1/1 on a 32 count. And that is part of why I stopped. Because I was having a hard time. But I would like to finish it. And really all I have left is the flowers.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm changing the colors. I'm using some Colour&Cotton and some DMC. Yeah. But not what's called for. So I need better lighting. And patience. And this will get done.
It'll get done.
So
you may need that soon we might be starting another in-person one sometime soon. So,
yeah.
With our friends. So.
Yeah, my vision was to cross stitch that and then make it into a little drawstring bag for my dice.
Yeah.
So.
It's a pretty pattern. I like the pattern.
Yeah, when I finish it, it'll be very nice. My next one is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. It is in this bag. This is from So Much to Love. I think they have an online store. But I purchased this. They were at Needlework Galleria one year. And so I purchased this there. And this is the pattern. As I said, Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I started this in May of 2022. And I'm not very far considering it's been
2 years.
2+ years of me working on this.
Well, a lot of the time was not really spent working on it.
No. And this is where I'm at currently.
A decent project. Progress on it. I mean,
so that May when I started it, I started on the border on the top, and then I did the New Hampshire Stitcher did a large project stitch along one year, and I completed this border, and then this past year I did a monogamish May, and so I focused on this piece, and I was able to bring this border all the way down, and then I started on this second row of things. So I may do monogamish May again and try to get, I mean, that was a lot of progress that I made.
You did. You made good progress on that one.
So if I can do that again this year, I think I'll feel a little bit better about how far along I am. I'm stitching this on 36 count Willow by Colour&Cotton, and I'm using the recommended DMC threads, and I'm stitching it 1/2. But I'm pleased with how it looks. I love how it looks on this fabric.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fabric for it.
And I do enjoy working on it. This past year I tended to work on smaller projects and was drawn to smaller projects. So, but maybe this will be the year of larger projects.
We will see.
Yeah. That is Let Love Rain.
Thank you.
Okay. My next project is in another So Much to Love bag. This bag was gifted to me by my dad for Christmas one year. He kitted up a project for me and my mom, and this was the bag that I received. But I do like it. It's very festive. And this houses Snowman Sentinel Welcome by Stoney Creek. This was my New Year's Day start in 2023, because that year I did my 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
My 12 Days of Snow Friends, the 12 days after Christmas. So this was my start that day. And this is where I'm at on that project. I am stitching this on 36 count Pampas Grass by Colour&Cotton, and I'm using the called for threads 1/2, and it's just adorable.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be stitching the Welcome where it's at the bottom. I'm just stitching the Snow Friend and the birds in the, like up to here.
Yeah. It doesn't really need the Welcome at the bottom necessarily.
I don't think so. So I have this on my WIP board, I think 3 or 4 times for this year. So I'm hoping I'll get really close to a finish if I don't finish it this year.
Yeah.
So he's so cute though. So that's my oldest.
There is no shortage of snow in your web.
Yeah, that's my oldest snow friend.
Not the only snow friend.
Yes.
Okay, that's 4. I guess I should show one. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a project bag your mom made for me. Mm-hmm. The fabric we got down in Florida when we were visiting your brother.
Yeah, we went on vacation and we had to stop by a fabric store.
So it's a Marvel superheroes, which I do love the Marvel superhero movies. So so that one, and this one houses an older WIP. Let's see, I don't remember when I started this one. It was probably at least a year ago.
I think it was last year at some point.
Last year?
Mm-hmm.
It was towards the beginning of last year. So this is the Wandering in Middle Earth Sal. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure. So this is the progress I have on this. So and it's mostly the called fors. This is stitched on 20 count Rustico Oatmeal by Zweigart, and I'm doing it 1/1. Like I said, I'm using mostly the called fors. I did switch out the windows for an étoile, which I don't think you can kind of see the sparkles on them, but I really like this one. It's gonna possibly get some stitching in this year, but I'm thinking, we talked about this in our other video, but I like your idea of actually trying to chart out. There's like 6 different chapters that go with it, and
they go like underneath.
They go underneath. There's a lot,
and then there's some sort of motif at the bottom.
There's a motif at the bottom, and there's like customization things you can add to the 6 chapters. Mm-hmm. And I need to figure out where they're going to sit, what they're going to cover up on the chapter motifs, so I can. So I think I'm going to try to work on charting some of that out, planning it out, so I can figure out that. Then I might stitch on it next year. So
because that's really what's been holding you up.
That's kind of why
you finished this top portion.
I finished the top portion. That was pretty straightforward. I mean, I choose the sections that I wanted, and then they actually went together pretty smoothly and seamlessly. So that was really well done. But it's I can see it was hard for the designer to figure out how to include that without, making a million different versions of the chapters, which I understand why they wouldn't do. So it's just going to take some figuring out for me. But that's part of the reason why I haven't stitched on it. But I think I'll use this year as a planning year for this project,
Okay,
and then
okay.
oh, that doesn't go there. Yeah,
The piles are forming.
the piles are forming. That is my first WIP. Your next WIPs.
Okay, my fifth WIP is in this bag that I made for myself with some fabric from Joann's, and it houses my other New Year's Day 2023 start, Winter Quakers by Rosewood Manor.
Yes.
And the sapphire.
It's a pretty fabric.
It is a pretty fabric. I think it goes this direction for the birds to be face up. And this is how it looks. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful project. I don't know. I think part of the reason that I'm struggling with this and that it's taking me so long is that I am choosing my own colors as I go. I'm not using what's called for. I think it calls for some sort of pearl cotton or Valdani cotton. And I'm using Classic Colorworks. So I just bought a bunch of different grays, blues, purples, teals, and then I'm just kind of choosing as I go. And I think that's what's slowing me down so much. That decision-making process is really hard for me. Last year, I was able to do a lot of work on this in the winter time, at the beginning of the year. Julie of Julie & Stitches 16 had a great idea of doing a motif a week on different projects. And I thought that was a great idea, and I was all gung-ho on it. And then somewhere in the middle of the year, I fizzled out. So,
but
I would like to make a return to this and try to at least get one more page finished this year, but we'll see what happens.
But how far are you on it? Just about halfway? A little over halfway?
I think I'm like a quarter of the way.
So it's a pretty big project.
Yeah. Here's the project again. So I've done this part. Yeah, I would say I'm probably about a quarter of the way done. I mean, these motifs are large and will have a lot of denser stitching in them. But I am stitching this on 28 count Dwarf by Picture This Plus, and I'm doing it 2/2. So I know that I'll love this when it's finished, and I enjoy looking at it when I have it pulled out every time I pull it out, but the actual working on it has been a struggle.
You'll get there.
Maybe this year will be less of a struggle.
Maybe so.
That is number 5. Number 6 is in a bag that was made for me by my mom with all of these cute little sheeps on it. And, oh, she had this cute little button thing on the zipper pull. Some little buttons. And this houses my Little House Needleworks Little Sheep Virtues projects. I've finished 11 out of the 12. The only one I have left is Courage. So I will do this at some point this year. And I also have the piece with the shepherd. The Sheep in the Meadow is what it's called. So I have not decided how I'm going to finish all of these. Maybe if I finish stitching these this year, it will be time for me to decide that. But
I mean, those are pretty fast stitches, though, too.
Yeah, I have all the fabric and the threads in here. I'm stitching this on 32 count Ren by Picture This Plus, and I'm stitching it 2/2.
Next one.
Okay, my next project is in this So Much to Love bag. This was gifted to me by my parents for my birthday one year. And inside of this, I have... Yeah, I think Michael gifted me this kit. This is Cherry Blossom Creek by Dimensions. It's a Dimensions Gold Collection kit. You gave it to me.
I did.
At some point. I don't know. I started it in April 2023. So maybe you gave it to me Christmas 2022?
I think it was Christmas 2022 when I gave it to you.
Okay. And yeah, I started it in April 2023. And this is sapphire. So
it's a beautiful pattern. I really like it.
Not halfway.
Not quite
yet.
halfway, no.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Once again, I'm struggling. I think this year, it's just, I didn't want to work on anything large. And that was my hang up. But
yeah, you did do a lot of small
we'll
projects.
see if I have a similar feeling this year or not. Maybe I'll make a ton of progress. Or maybe it'll look exactly the same in our WIP Parade next year. No one knows. I'm using the kit provided threads and fabric. I think it's 18 count. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's so springy and bright and colorful.
You'll probably feel feel like stitching a little bit on the spring at least. Probably,
Yeah,
I guess.
I think I'll definitely make some progress. I think that is what I did this past year. There was one day in spring where I remember I did this orange bush this year, and I think I brought this down, all of these flowers in here. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. That is Cherry Blossom Creek.
That is Cherry Blossom Creek.
Our next project is in another boring legal document bag. This one's pink. And this is Floral Etchings by Heart in Hand. I purchased this the first time I went to the Colour&Cotton store when they had their grand opening. And I kitted it up with Colour&Cotton fabric and floss. And I stopped because I wasn't happy with my floss choices. But this is where I am. Now, are you thinking, that's not so bad, Melanie? Just do it. Just finish it.
It is pretty close, but...
Yeah, I just wasn't happy with this lighter pink, and then I've been unhappy with the yellow, and every time I pull it out, I second guess myself, and then I give myself a pep talk, and then the pep talk...
Fades.
It's
okay. You'll get to it eventually.
Yeah. This is on a 36 count limited edition from Colour&Cotton, so it doesn't have a specific name. Yeah. But this is where I am on this. We'll see what happens this year.
Getting close. Yeah. Is that 4?
That was number 8.
That was number 8. Okay, so my next one, it's in this very boring legal one, but it is also the one that I'm UFOing. So.
Oh, okay.
This is my Fantasy Winter Castle that I was really excited when I first started it, and I still like the pattern, but I just... especially when I noticed so many mistakes that I would have to account for.
Last time you went to work on it, you were like, what in the world did I do?
What in the world? I probably was stitched it when I was tired, and I made all kinds of mistakes that would have to be corrected for, and in a pattern like this, it's just not going to, look quite right. Mm-hmm. So this is where I was on it. So it's pretty far. I mean, this is only the second page. And there's 8 pages. Mm-hmm. So there would be a lot left to stitch in, and there would be a lot of adjustments that I would have to make on this particular part. And it's not bringing me the same kind of joy that it used to. Mm-hmm. So I might finish out this page and then figure out.
Yeah, we talked about trying to find a way to like finish this as well as he can, and then me turning this into a project bag or framing it as it is.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks really good as far as I got it, mm-hmm. but it's not going to look quite right, mm-hmm. and I'm not going to be happy with it. I know. Mm-hmm. So this is probably going to be UFO'd. This one was stitched on 20 count denim Aida by My Vintage Needle Arts, mm-hmm. and I was doing a 1/1 with the Colorworks because I don't know what I would substitute on those.
Yeah.
But it's just not where I needed it to be. So that is that's probably one of my oldest WIPs, but it's also mm-hmm. now being UFO'd. So. I have a new project that'll be taking its place as my big project, mm-hmm. so but I can talk about that in our actual video, our normal video.
Yeah.
That's my number 2, and your number 9.
Number 2. My number 9 is in this bag that I made. One year for Christmas, I made Michael and my parents, who also both cross-stitch, bags from this fabric line. So this was the one that I made myself. And I forget the name of this fabric line. But then I also got us these fancy zipper fobs or scissor
fobs or zipper fobs.
Yeah, whatever.
It's really pretty.
Whatever they are. Mine has bells on it.
I really love the fabric. It's real pretty.
Yeah. I had some more of this fabric that I used to make a different quilt. But in here, I have Quaker Christmas 2 by Bygone Stitches. This was a Christmas in July start in 2023. And okay, no hanging threads.
No hanging threads.
This is where it is now. I am stitching this on a 32 count limited edition by Colour&Cotton, and I'm using a Miss-Dye hank. Colour&Cotton sometimes online will sell hanks of floss that don't quite fit in with their other colors, and so I purchased one of those. It's a very dark green, and this is how far I am. So I'm sort of doing the reverse of what's pictured and called for. The designer intended for it to be done in mostly red with a little bit of green, and I'm doing it backwards with mostly green with a little bit of red. I have not chosen my red yet, but this is how far I am, and I really like how it's looking.
Yeah, I love the green. The green looks great on there.
Yeah, and I'm also, like, this is a little bit of an experiment. I'm doing one strand on 32 count, which is something I hadn't tried before, and I sort of like the way it looks. It's not super thick. You can see the X's when it's closer, which I don't mind. But yeah, I like the way that it looks. And I hope to get a little bit farther this year. But once again, it was a large...
It was a large project.
So I didn't feel as drawn to work on it.
Let's put it on our stack over here.
Okay. And maybe another stack.
I can make another stack.
Okay, my next project is...
What's the bag?
Oh, this is a bag my mom made for me. When Michael said that she made that superhero bag, I think this was the fabric that she got for me at that time. It's these cute little penguins doing different winter fun things. And the inside has this bright blue. And I am doing... There's a couple projects in here.
Oh, that's taken after my...
I know. It is Snow Magical by Brenda Gervais. And I started this December 16th of 2023. It was one of my 12 Days of Snow Friends starts in 2023. And this is how far I am. It's so cute. I think I've used all the called for colors. I went to work on this month and realized that I don't know if I use the called for colors or not. And I need to figure out what that white is. So I need to figure that out before I work on this again.
This is the one you didn't remember what the white was.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll work on this when I figure that out. But this is being stitched on 36 count Silver Fox by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm stitching it 1/2. I really love how it looks in this fabric. And I already have the finishing piece from Chantel at 141 that'll make it look like a snow globe when it's done. I just need to paint it and do all that once I get this stitched up. But it's so cute.
It is really cute.
Oh, that's cute. I'll figure it out. My next one is in a different bag for some reason. Another bag that I made myself with fabric from Joanne Fabrics. And this houses Paisley by Stacey Nash.
Yeah.
I finished the companion piece to this, Whitaker, earlier in this year. But I started this on December 18th, 2023. And she's just got ahead.
Yeah, she's got ahead.
Yeah.
She's trying to get ahead.
Yeah. I'm stitching this on 28 count olive by, dark olive by Zweigart. And I'm using all the called for threads. I think they're, I don't remember if it's Gentle Arts or Classic Colorworks, but it's whatever's called for. And I love how it looks.
It's cute.
I stopped because I decided I wanted to change the color on her dress to a blue instead of a red. So I think that is why I did not pick this back up again. Yes, that's right.
You were changing the...
Yes, because I think I finished her head at some point this summer.
And you're like, I want to change the color. And then...
Yes, and that is why I stopped. So I need to make that decision so I can continue working on this. Because I think this is on my WIP board twice. So I need to figure out before that's called. I already showed it.
Oh, did you? Okay. I missed it.
That I made for myself.
Yeah.
And I've got this cute zipper pull.
Oh, yeah, the zipper pull.
I think it's from Moda. The snowman.
You can't go wrong with a snowman.
No, you cannot. Here, take this.
I'll take this. Give you that project.
Okay, and then this bag that I have the other thing in is the next project. Oh, yeah. This is Give Greatly by Silver Creek Samplers. I started this on December 19th of 2023. And I have only worked on it December 19th of 2023. This is how far I am.
That's how far she is.
Yeah.
So not super far yet.
I had wanted to get back to this year, but that did not occur.
Too many things going on at the end of the month.
So I think this is on my WIP board 2 or 3 times. So hopefully I will make some progress on it. My dad, I think, stitched and finished this, and it looks great. And that was motivating to me. I'm stitching this on it's from a Colour&Cotton fabric grab bag, so I don't really know. I'm guessing it's 40 count because it's pretty small. But it doesn't have a name. And I'm using all the called for threads, 1/2.
Yeah, I'd say it looks like 40 to me.
And that was what was in this bag. Okay. That was number 12.
Number 12. Wow. Number 12. We're flying through your projects. Okay. Yeah. So my next project is in this bag. This is one you created for me, but fabric I picked out for myself. This is, of course, Link from Legend of Zelda, and this is one of the newer Legend of Zeldas. I forget which one it's from. I haven't played a lot of the newer ones, so but I do like Zelda. I played it growing up, and it's got kind of a similar interior, just a different color scheme inside. And this one houses one of my, I guess it's about a year maybe. Did I start this last year or was it the year before? I think it was last year, wasn't it? Last Christmas when I started these.
I really don't remember.
So I need to unroll it. It's going to be a little wrinkly, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. So these are classic Nintendo characters from the original NES. The pattern was called Love is NES by Pixel Perfect Patterns. And I don't think it's actually available anymore, but the pattern itself is in the shape of a heart, but I'm just actually choosing the individual characters that I really want to stitch. And eventually I'm going to chart out and stitch the name of each game below them, or the character name, probably the name of the game though, so people know what they are. And I'm going to turn them all into ornaments and put them on the tree. The newest one I did was the little the karate guy down below from Kung Fu. So that is it's a project. I was inspired to start some kind of ornaments from all the people stitching ornaments that year. I mean, everybody was stitching different Christmas ornaments. I think Chris Cross Stitch was in the middle of stitching his ornaments. It's like, well, I need some Christmas ornaments that I can put on our tree. But
you have a small tree that you put in your office.
I do. I have a small tree that I put in my office. I work from home, and so I have this small tree that I put in there, and I was like, well, I need some ornaments for my cross stitch tree, and yet I didn't really necessarily want typical ornaments. Yeah. So it's like, this brings nostalgia back for me of games I grew up with, and so that's kind of what I'm doing with those. This one is on, let's see, it's on 18 count slate Aida. I don't remember where.
I think slate is Fabrics by Stephanie.
Fabrics by Stephanie. Okay, and it's 1/1 with the called fors, so nothing exciting or fancy with the colors, but it's been a fun stitch. I really enjoyed stitching.
I think we figured out when you were stitching on it the other day that it's 2/1.
Oh, is it? It is 2/1. Yeah, it's 2 threads.
Yeah, so that it looks a little bit.
That's right. I remember choosing the 2/1 because I wanted to look full and on the tree, so it's easier to see without. Yeah, that's right. It was 2/1.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten that. So that is my third WIP.
Yeah,
third WIP. Okay, so you're number 13.
I'm number 13, which was my New Year's start last year. This is in a bag that I made for myself with some wintry fabric. I made my mom and I matching bags from this fabric line, and I think it's very cute. Yeah. And in here, as I said, was my New Year's Day start last year, which was White Winter Moth by Kathy Barrick. It's beautiful. It's stunning.
Yeah, it is.
And I did a full Colour&Cotton conversion on this. So I'm stitching it on 36 count bronze by Colour&Cotton. And I went to the store and looked at the wall and just kind of picked different colors that I thought would work. And I'm pleased with how it's looking. I need to change the yellow because the yellow is way too close to the fabric color. So I need to choose a different yellow so that I can restitch that. Yeah, and some of the other motifs that are on there.
Yeah, you can hardly see the bird. So yeah, it needs to be adjusted. Yeah. Or you could outline the bird if you really wanted to. But
I think I'll just change the yellow. That'll be easier because there are other places in this pattern where that yellow is used.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really love it, and I would like to get back to it. I don't think I've touched it. I think I worked on it a little bit in the springtime, but I haven't worked on it since then. So maybe that'll be a goal for this year. Or maybe not.
We'll find out.
Yeah. I do love it, though. And I've seen some other people in their WIP parades and plan parades showing it, and it's making me want to get back to it.
You'll get back to it if you really want to.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that.
That's that one.
Okay, number 14 is in a bag that I made for myself with this cute fabric. I had ordered like a grab bag of Christmas fabric from an Etsy shop, and this fabric was in there, and it's just adorable with these little like gnomes doing little wintry things. That was so cute. This holds Silver Bells by Jane Hicks Creates. This is a pattern that my mom and I did a little stitch along with. We started it on my grandma's birthday, and she loved Christmas and Christmas bells, and my mom finished hers in July. It was kind of her Christmas in July focus piece, and she actually put it on her Christmas card. Her Christmas card this year was a picture of this, which I thought was so cool. But I'm like halfway done.
Yeah, about halfway, I'd say.
Yeah.
It looks great.
I worked on it a little bit in July. I did a few motifs. But I would like to get back to this. I wanted to try to finish it within the year, so her birthday will be at the end of January. And maybe I'll have it finished by then. I'm stitching this on 36 count limited edition by Colour&Cotton, and I'm doing all the called for threads. I think 1/2. I like how it looks on this gray.
Yeah.
And the colors are so bright and pretty. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying this project and thinking of my grandma and all the wonderful times we had together when I work on it. My next start is in a bag that I made for myself. This was a table runner that I got at a estate sale last year or the year before.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And I cut it up and I made 2 project bags. I made one for myself and one for my mom using, I think we had different fabric
On the back, yeah.
And then it's got this Lori Holt print on the inside. And this was my Leap Day start in 2024, which was Bluebirds of Happiness by WIP Designs. And this is where I am. I am stitching this on 32 count, limited edition by Colour&Cotton. And I'm using all the called for threads, 2/2. I stopped because I felt like something weird was happening with the fabric. Does it look crooked to you?
It looks a little crooked.
Does it look like something weird is happening?
To me, it looks a tiny bit crooked, but I'm not really sure why.
That's what my problem is. So I may restart this, or I may just forge ahead and continue. But I think the last few times I've gone to work on it and pulled it out, I've been like,
it may also be partly
these motifs over here are.
That's what I was like. It kind of dips down and then goes up, and
yeah,
I don't know.
So I don't know if I just continue and see what happens and be okay with it, or if I restart it. There's no reason why this should be strange like that.
No, I'm not sure what's causing it, but
yeah.
it does look a little weird. I mean, you can comment to see give us your thoughts on it, but it does look a little wonky.
I like the pattern. I want to work on this and finish this. I feel about bluebirds the way a lot of people feel about cardinals, that they remind me of loved ones who have passed. So this is a special pattern for me. And we'll see what happens this year. Yeah. Okay, and then number 16 doesn't fit in the bin. It's in this So Much to Love bag that was gifted to me by my mom with this Beauty and the Beast fabric on it. And it's one of the larger size bags that she sells. And that is because this is a very large project. This was my birthday start in 2024 and a forest grew by Rosewood Manor. I was ambitious.
It's a great project. I love the pattern.
It's stunning, which is why I wanted to start it. I had this I think for like 2 or 3 years. And then I finally talked myself into starting it. And then I got stuck. I think once again because it's a large pattern and
you weren't into the large patterns last year.
I just wasn't into it
this year at all. So.
And this is how far I am. Everything's fine. Okay. This is how far I am. I'm stitching this on 36 count Highland by Picture This Plus, and I'm using all the called for DMC threads, 1/2. And I was drawn to this fabric because it reminded me of the way that the light looks when it comes through sort of the trees above.
Yeah,
when you're looking up
that's
the
a
trees.
Great fabric choice for this one. I think it looks great on it.
Yeah, but I think, I got stalled because it's a large project and there's a lot of color changes. And you can see just how vibrant this is and all the different colors that have been in it so far. I know I finished one page and then I started working on the next page. But Julie of Julie and Stitches 16, this was her focus piece this last year. This was the piece that she used for Motiva Week, and she made awesome progress on it. So I may pull this out from time to time. I'll definitely probably pull it out toward around my birthday again this year and try to get another page finish at least. But I also am going to be recharting the words that are in the center of the tree. So I'll spend some time trying to figure out what I'm going to do about that. But it's okay if that waits till the very last also. There's plenty of other things to stitch on here before I get to that.
Yes, it's a big pattern.
Yeah, but that is number 16.
Number 16. Okay, so that means it's up to me now.
It's up to you. It's your turn.
Okay, so this next one is in this bag. This is my Charlie Brown bag from your mom. She made this one for me. She picked out the fabric, and it's got this nice polka dot in the center. So I as most of you probably know, and from my shirt, I do love the Peanuts, especially Snoopy. He's my favorite. So I also like Linus a lot too. So this one has my Frosted Pumpkin Cottage by the Witchy Stitcher in it, which I started this last October, and this was sort of a shared project where you did the pumpkin on it. So that's as far as I am. That's into the second page. So I did the bottom one first and then the top one. And it's really coming along nicely. And this will probably be one of my focus pieces for the first quarter. So I think I can finish it. I really am enjoying it a lot. And I don't see any reason to stop stitching on it.
What is that stitched on?
This one, it's a good point. This is stitched on 20 count. It was a fabric we got in the Needle Galleria. And I don't remember.
Oh, Desert. It's Desert something.
Desert something. Yeah.
Because I had to look it up for our last video.
Yes, it's Desert something.
Desert Night, I think.
Something.
It's
like
by Atomic Ranch.
By Atomic Ranch, yes. It's 1/1. I'm using the Colorworks on it, and I'm really enjoying this one a lot. I've had wanting that one for a while, and I decided it fits really well with fall and with Christmas. So I could
Your two favorite.
My two favorite times of year. Fall is probably my favorite, followed by Christmas and winter. So I'm really enjoying stitching it. It feels very wintry still, so I can stitch it throughout this winter and probably finish it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, like I said, that was a joint project because that was a part of your Snowman Sal as well.
Yeah,
because you stitched.
It's the first time we've ever both stitched on one.
Yeah. And I think I inspired you with the little pumpkin snowman. So I've really enjoyed that one. I do love the project bag because it's one of my newer ones, and I just love the Peanuts. And that is my project number 4. Yeah, number 4.
Okay.
Your number 17.
Number 17 is in this bag that I made for myself. Again, this was some fabric from that grab bag of fabric that I got in the Etsy shop. It's cute little lights inside. And this is from this book, Christmas Cross Stitch Treasures by Joan Elliott, which was gifted to me last year at Christmas by Frosty the Snowman, who brings people in our family crafty things. And I had started Redwork Christmas Samplers as a Christmas in July start in July of 2024. And I was working on this one with the tree, large tree, and the word joy on it. And I changed it up, so I'm using white thread on a green fabric. And this is how far I am. I'm stitching this on 36 count Creme de Menthe by Needle Bling Designs. And I'm stitching it with one thread. And I got stalled because of the back stitching. There's a lot of it, and I started it, and I wasn't pleased with how it was looking. Like my thread was doing weird things. So I was trying to wait until I had a little bit more patience with myself to return to this. And that has not occurred yet.
I'm sure after the new year you'll find a good time
to
stitch on it.
I will, because I think it's a beautiful pattern, and I love the way that the white is looking on the screen. Yeah, I think I just need to get over myself.
You need to be more patient with yourself.
Yeah, I am not the most patient person.
You can do it. I believe in you.
But this is how it looks, and I am happy with how it looks, except for that back stitching. I'll get to it.
You will get to it.
I will get to it.
I will take your pattern.
Okay, next is, I'm not going to show you what's inside, because this is a secret project that I've been working on for Michael, which I think I worked on one day, and then have not worked on it since then. I started it in August.
Well,
this is a bag that I made for myself with some fabric from Joann's, and I think this was a Moda.
I'm sure it looks great. When I see it, eventually I'll let you know.
Secrets are within. Number 19 is in this bag that was made for me by my mom. These cute pumpkins. And this she did this little zipper pull with a with a little apple button, which is super cute. And this piece is Sleepy Hollow by Hello from Liz Matthews. I started this on Michael's birthday in October, and I was also using this for Laura Stitching by the Shore's pumpkin birthday sale because of all those grumpy glum pumpkins.
The glum pumpkins.
Yes. And this is how far I got in October. I'm stitching this on 32 count Cleveland Winter Sky by Laura's Fabrics, and I'm using the called for or recommended DMC threads. I think she calls for silk, but I'm using DMC, and I'm stitching it 1/2, which I think is why I stopped, because I wasn't loving the way that the black and the dark brown were looking. I actually, when I pulled out this fabric, I thought it was a 36 count, and my go-to on 36 count is 1 strand. But then when I went to show it in our video, I realized it was actually a 32 count. So I'm sort of like, do I start it over? Do I just continue with 1 strand? Do I do like a tent stitch of a 2nd strand just on those colors that I'm not pleased with as much? I don't know.
That's entirely up to you.
I know. But that is part of why I stopped, because I feel like I have decisions to make and I did not feel like making them. So I did.
You'll make them. You'll know what the right answer is when you come to it.
Yeah. But that is how far I am on this project. Hopefully I will figure out all the answers to my questions and return to that this year. What does that bring me to?
I have no idea.
This is 20, number 20?
Number 20.
Is in this bag made for me by my mom. She picked up this fabric because she thought of me. Because purple and butterflies. And she even put this butterfly charm on it, which is so pretty. And inside this, I'll have to insert a cover photo because it's a digital pattern. And it is Freak for the Beak by Boomerang Stitches.
It's looking great.
Yes. I started this in November. We went on a little anniversary trip, and I brought this along to start there. And this is how it looks. I'm stitching this on 36 count Spellbound by Needle Bling Designs. I'm using kind of a mixture of what is called for, and I'm changing in some colors. It has sort of a rainbow of colors that's called for, and I didn't want to use the oranges, golds, and reds. I just want to make it kind of jewel toned, purple, pink, blue, teal. So I think I've almost finished 1 page, but I'm at a point where I need to make decisions about the colors that I'm changing, some of the colors that I'm changing. Yeah, but I love how this is looking. I love these crazy birds. I just want them to be my friend.
They are your friend.
Forever. But I love how it's looking on this fabric. I'll definitely return to this at some point this year.
Okay, that's number 20?
That's number 20.
Wow, okay, so another one for me. So this is in my companion bag piece that Mel made for me. This is my travel bag for small projects.
I had some leftover fabric and I said, do you want a small one?
So it looks the same as the other one, except it's tiny. But it's really good for taking small projects on our trips with us. So, and this one houses my Lighthouse by White Raven Patterns. I started this one this summer on our cruise to Alaska, and I actually went to see a lighthouse in Alaska on our cruise, which is what inspired me to stitch this one. But I really like the pattern. It's a pretty pattern. It's also a very easy pattern for when my eyes get tired. I can stitch on this and not make as many mistakes. And this is on 20 count Zweigart Ida, but I'm stitching it 1/1 with the call for DMCs. So this is into the second page. Next time I stitch, I'll probably get close to a page finish, because there's a big in the part there's like a big block of one color that goes pretty far down. So that one I imagine I'll probably get. It's going to be one of my stitches coming up in this first quarter. So I should make some good progress on that. But that is my Lighthouse pattern that I've been stitching on. I really enjoy it. I always have to have some kind of an easy pattern to stitch on, and late when it gets late, because some of my bigger projects that take a lot more counting, I'm apt to make more mistakes when I get tired.
Yeah. And I think also it's become sort of your travel project.
Yeah, it's been my travel project when I go places because I don't always know what the light will be like when I go traveling. And so even if I have poor light, something like that, I can stitch on somewhat easily. Whereas some of them, the fabrics are too dark to really see very clearly, or they're, because I do stitch on smaller counts typically. 18 to 20 count is what I usually stitch on. I'm actually doing a 22 count right now, unintentionally.
There's also like not as many colors on that one.
There's a very few small color palette too, which also helps for travel and for late night stitching. So that's kind of one of the things I found I really like to keep is some kind of pattern that has a few colors and larger blocks of colors that you can stitch on without making big mistakes. So that is my Lighthouse, and that is number 5. Your next one.
I know. I need to drink a drink.
Need a drink for water?
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of talking, so yeah, drink some water. I suspect I'll have a lot more WIPs next year because of the way I'm doing my plans for next year. I think I'll probably have more WIPs than I have this year.
Because you're planning on starting more things.
I'm planning on starting more things. I'm giving myself permission to start more things than I have been because I intentionally tried to keep my WIPs down this last year, just to see how my comfort level was with having more WIPs. Because when you go from monogamous stitching where you have like one project at a time that's a WIP to multiple projects.
Yeah, I think this is the most projects you've had.
This is the most
at one time. I mean, in general.
Yeah, because I have had finishes this year, so some of the WIPs that I had are finished now, and I've actually had some start and finishes over this last month, which is kind of crazy. So I think that's why I've eased myself into the WIPs. I don't know that I'll ever get super high counts of WIPs because I don't think I'd be comfortable with that, but I'll have more this year. So that is my WIP number 5.
Okay. Mine. Okay, we're at the point where I'm done with the basket.
No more basket.
So I had to shuffle things so that I could pull the other bags that I have closer. The next thing that I started is Let It Snow by Brenda Gervais. I'm stitching this as a store model for the Colour&Cotton store. And I started it. I need to finish it this month.
Yes.
Because I'm sure Angela wants it. And this is how far I got. Can you even see it?
You can't see it on camera.
This is why I had to stop. Because I'm stitching brown on brown. I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage country mocha. And I'm using all the called for threads. And yeah, I need better lighting to work on this. And I just haven't had time with the holidays. But I'll get back to this.
I'm sure you'll probably finish it
this month. I just need to figure out a way. I can't work on this in the evening because our lighting isn't strong enough for me to do the brown on brown. But I think if I work on this during the day, it'll go a lot
quicker.
A lot easier, yeah. So I just need to figure out a situation for myself where I can.
And we can invest in the brighter light if you need it.
I don't think I need to. I mean, most of the time I'm not stitching
like this.
Kind
of like when I was stitching black.
Because I was even thinking when I stitch this for myself, I'm planning on doing this as one of my 12 Snow Friends starts this next year and stitching it for myself. But probably when I do it for myself, I'm going to do it on a different fabric.
Yeah.
But it's going to be beautiful when it's done. But I am having a hard time with it. So that's why I kind of set it aside for now. I don't want to put it in that pile because I want it to be separate. So that's that. So now we're into my 12 Snow Friend starts of this year.
There's a lot of them. There were a lot this year.
Okay. So one of them is the Merry Friends Towels.
Oh, yeah.
I started this on December 12th. Michael gifted this to me for our anniversary. That's one of my gifts. And I think they're both cute. I'll probably do this one. This next year is one of my 12 Snow Friend starts. But I am working on this one. This is Merry Christmas. And I am stitching this on a shirt.
Yeah.
I got this baseball shirt and I'm using a water-soluble, I think it's a 14 count water-soluble Ada. And this is how far I am. Which is not bad for 2 nights.
No, not bad at all.
Of stitching, or 1 night and 1 morning. Yeah, so I think this is going to be cute. I was going to try to finish it for Christmas, but
didn't quite happen.
There were so many other things I was doing.
But you have plenty of time now between now
Yeah,
and
I have this on my board, I think, 3 times for WIP Go, so I should be able to finish it. I mean, that'll be 6 days.
That's a lot of stitching on that.
Guaranteed.
Plus whenever you feel like
Plus whenever else I feel like working on it. So I should definitely have this finished so that I can wear it next year for Christmas. Oh, that'll be so good. And that isn't a bag that I made for myself last year with this fun snowman fabric I found at Joann's. Okay.
Thank you.
Add it to the pile.
It's going to the pile.
Okay, next I have the rest of my snow friends shoved into this one bag because I know that some of these are going to go quickly, and so this will be gradually emptying throughout the year. This is a bag I made for myself with fabric from Spoonflower. I thought these snow friends were so cute, and I put this little snow friends charm on the zipper. Okay, so let's see what the next one is. Next one is A Little Winter by Sweet Wing Studio. I have all these in bags, so I'm not going to take them out just because of the way that I have these in bags in the bag so that I can work on them when I'm ready to.
Yeah.
Little Winter by Sweet Wing Studio. I'm stitching this on 28 count Celestine by Colour&Cotton. And I'm stitching this with the recommended DMC threads 2/2. And this is as far as I got in the one night that I stitched on it. It's going to be so cute. I love that this has got a bunch of purple. It's purple birds.
Purple is your color. So.
I mean, yes. More of that. So this will get finished at some point this year.
Thank you. I'll just put it aside because it's going to go back in that bag.
Yeah. Or do you want to put them over here?
Yeah, because they're all going to go back in that bag. That'll be easier.
Okay, the next one that I have that I started on December 15th is Frosty Tiny Town. I've got the Tiny Town and the Frosty Frill, and I decided with the layout that I wanted for my village that I wanted to start with the frill. So the frill's going to be over here, and the rest of the village is going to go that way. So I started with that frill, and I almost finished it. This is where I am. I'm stitching this on 18 count Opalescent Cardiff by Live and Die LA, and I'm using the recommended DMC threads. I'm stitching it 1/1.
Probably 1/4.
1/1. I love it. I thought that it would be fun to do it on the opalescent so that it would look kind of sparkly snowish.
Yeah, I like it.
I know. It's going to be so cute. I love it. That is that. Okay, next is Snow Day by Cherry Blossoms. Sorry, Cherry Blossoms.
Cherry Blossoms.
I started this on December 17th. Excuse me. And this is how far I am. Oh, it's so cute. I am stitching this on a 28 count test die from Fabrics by Stephanie, and I'm stitching it with the recommended DMC threads 2/2. It's gonna be so cute.
A lot of snowman stars.
I know. I love them. You know I love them.
I know.
You just accepted it.
Okay, that is number 24?
That is 25.
25?
Well, because there's one that wasn't on here, but
okay.
it's on here.
25. Okay, so I guess
think I did more than I was supposed to. It's your turn.
That's okay. That's quite all right. So this was another one your mom made for me. This was the fabric I picked out. And actually one of our Florida trips as well. I think it was the same trip. Was it? Or did I buy this one online?
Or did she pick it out for you? Because she knows you.
She might have picked it out for me. Or I think she might have given me options or something.
Maybe.
Something. But it's a Star Wars pattern because I do like Star Wars.
And she put this button on here because she thought it looked like the Death Star.
Which it kind of does.
Silver round button.
It kind of does. It's kind of a polka dot interior which goes really well with it. So it's really a beautiful project, which is perfect for me. So the one I'm stitching on here is Silver Creek's Crinkle Flying Academy, which is That's what it looks like. And it's actually right side up. So now I'm stitching this one on 18 count Cardiff, Opalescent by Live and Die LA. Same exact fabric. And I'm going in 1/1 with the call fours. It helps if I have it right side up. So this is as far as I am. I initially started with the words, and I made some good progress on the rest of the elf or Santa that's on there with the reindeer. So I made some good progress. I don't know that I'll make a whole lot more progress on this. I don't know if I'll be stitching this in the first quarter, but it's probably going to go storage safe away until the next Christmas season, probably at the end of November or December. But I really like the way the opalescent looks on this one. It's looking really good. I know I've seen some people stitching on this, which is what inspired me to start. But so that is my Kringle Flying Academy by Silver Creek Samplers, which is going really well. I had a really good big boost when I first started, and then it sat for a while, and then I felt inspired. Then again, Christmas season started on again. So
I think you worked a tiny bit on it in July.
I think I did in Christmas in July, but then or Jolly July, whichever you want to term it as. But then I felt inspired again this last Christmas season to work some on it between my other projects. So that is number 6 for me.
Okay, number 26.
Number 26. 6 and 26. Nice symmetry.
Is Cocoa Quaker by Primrose Cottage. If you watched our last normal video, you know I was debating about what to do about the colors and the fabric and all of that.
Yep.
And I did make a decision. And this is how it looks. I'm stitching this on 36 count Mushroom Light Mocha by Needleblink Designs. And I'm using some different Colour&Cotton threads that I've picked up over time. Red, green, white, black, and I think that's it. I think it's 4 colors. That's how far I got in the night that I worked on it. I started on December 18th. I think it's cute.
It is cute.
Yay. That'll be a quick one. The next one is on the next page. The last page. It is I Believe in Christmas by Annie B's Folk Art. I had done the Santa in July, and then I started the Snow Friend on December 19th. And I did not work on this for very long. I think this was the game. We had a game day with our friends, and I was exhausted by the end of that, so I put in...
It's a very modest start.
A few stitches, but a few is more than 0.
A few is more than 0, that's true.
So that's how far I am on this project. But it'll go quickly once I get back to it. That is that. Then the next one is It's Cold Outside by Brenda Gervais. I started this on December 20th.
It's not really been cold outside the last couple days.
I think it's supposed to be cold though.
Next week is going to be cold.
Yeah.
It's to start the new year right.
And this is how far I got that day. I worked on it.
It's cold.
I'm stitching this on 36 count Evergreen Dew by Live and Die LA. And I'm using mostly called for threads, 1/2. I think if I have the called for color, I'm using it. If not, I am substituting with whatever I can find in my closet that looks good. But I love how it looks on this tealy color. Your turn.
My turn. Okay. So this one is in this project bag. This is, for obvious reasons, my pretzel bag.
Pretzel.
That your mom
I made it for you.
You made this one for me.
My mom and I found this fabric at a antique store, and I was like, yes, that needs to come home with me and become a project bag for Michael.
Yes. I will be using this for my pretzel lace star suit as well.
Okay.
But it looks great. It's got like a green polka dot inside. And this one is housing one of my Christmas projects, which probably will also be put on the back trim. This is called Christmas Break by Mill Hill. It was my Snowman Sal star for to join your Snowman Snell. And it's a kit, so I've been stitching it on the perforated paper with the called for DMCs. So it's 3/1 essentially, And this is as far as I am. It's not super far. I got the drapes just about done. So not a ton of progress, but I haven't stitched as much on this as some of the other projects. So in fairness, it didn't get as much love as some of the other projects. But I am enjoying it. I'm looking forward to actually getting into the Snowman at some point, but that may be a next Christmas time stitch. So
yeah,
I'm moving past a lot of my Christmas stitching, except for like the Frosted Pumpkin Cottage probably. So those are being put away and remain WIPs for a whole year.
Yeah.
Maybe in July, possibly. So that is my 9th WIP.
Okay. My next one is the 2018 Santa by Prairie Schooler, the Prairie Schooler. I started this on December 21st. And this is how far I got. I am stitching this with the called for colors with number 3 of number 3 pearl cotton. I'm stitching this on 7 count sand Clostern by Witchelt.
It looks great.
I had to switch to a different sort of needle than I typically use size 28 needles, but the eye wasn't big enough for the pearl cotton, so I have a larger needle that I've got on this project. But yeah, it looks like I made a ton of progress because the stitches are so large on 7 count. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. And I'm looking forward to getting back to it.
Every time I see your 7 count projects, I'm inspired to try to find one.
It's so good.
So
it's so good. I just want to do more.
I've not done one, but I will find a project that works for me.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is Hello Winter by Crochet a Go-Go. I started this on December 22nd. And this is what it looks like. I am stitching this on a 22 count navy hardanger by Zweigart. And I'm using the called for threads 1/1. And it's so cute.
It is very cute.
The night I stitched this, we did a Home Alone double feature.
Yes, we did.
So when I look at this, I think about Home Alone. But yeah, I love it. It's so cute. It's going to be so good.
That's a good fabric choice for it too.
Yeah, I debated. I actually had planned to start this on the first day of winter because it says winter very largely at the bottom. So my little plan was, I'll start this on the first day of winter. But then the fabric that I had chosen, white, did not show up on it at all. So actually I put in a few stitches on that. And then I set it aside and I instead worked on the Santa one.
Yeah.
And then I took some time that next morning to figure out what fabric I could do. And that's what I chose. So I think it looks good.
I think it looks great.
Snowman. And then my last project is in this bag I made for myself last year with some fabric from Joann's. And it has another fancy zipper pull of this candy cane. And this was my Christmas start. I started on December 23rd. And this was a Jingle Ball exclusive pattern. I Smell Snow by Pansy Patch, Quilts and Stitchery. This was the only thing I bought at the Jingle Ball. I told myself I wasn't going to buy anything.
And you did. Because Snowman.
Because Snowman and a Gilmore Girls quote. I couldn't resist. So I said, well, I'll make it my Christmas chart. And this is how far I got. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
We have like 3 days of Christmas, just based on our family celebrations.
Yes.
So I did this on the first 2 days of Christmas. Actually, this was my start.
Yes, you flipped it around.
I stitched this. My mom and I were watching a movie. We have a tradition of watching Little Women every year at Christmas. So I was so distracted and enjoying that I thought that the pattern was exactly the same all the way across.
Surprise!
And then I realized it is not. So I had to restart it. But I have enough fabric that was fine. I'm stitching this on 40 count suede by Needle Bling Designs. I'm using, I think, all the called for colors. I think I'm like other projects that I've mentioned. If I have the color, I'm using it. And if not, I'm just picking something close. But I'm pretty sure I had most of what was called for on this. But
that's great.
The final project of the, well, not of the year, but
not of the year.
I finished the final project.
You did.
So those are all my whips.
Those are all your whips.
Yeah.
I have one last whip. I actually get to go last, and I only had 8 whips.
Yeah.
That's because we alternated.
Yeah.
So this next one, it's one I just started, but I need to take a moment to talk about this project bag. That is absolutely amazing, and it was a surprise gift from a very, very special friend of ours, Corinne from Corey Creates.
Yeah, Corinne of Corey Creates. She has a Etsy shop called Layla P Creations. On Etsy.
Yeah.
I think it's got that name on the tag.
It does have the name on the tag.
Yeah, if you want to pull in.
Yeah, there you go.
If you can search for that shop, she makes these project bags, and I had ordered one as a gift for myself for Christmas. I always buy myself a gift.
Yeah.
And she must have known.
Because this is a beautiful project bag. It's huge, which is perfect for the project because it's a big project.
Yes.
And she knew I was going to be starting the national
She watches
parks.
our videos.
And
we watch her videos. It's mutual.
It was such a huge surprise because I had no idea. You had no idea what was coming.
No, it was just the most beautiful Christmas gift.
And it's just this beautiful blue color on the inside,
yeah.
and just really beautifully created project bag that made with a lot of love.
Yeah. So we opened that like the day before our Christmases were set to begin, and Michael said,
"I was like,
Christmas Day start."
Yeah, Christmas Day start. This was my Christmas Day start, and the bag is perfect for it because it is my national parks project by Stitch and Madness. So, but I had to take a moment to say thank you because that was just a beautiful project.
Yeah.
So this is my. Here's the cover sheet for it, for the one I'm actually stitching. So this is the cover for the actual park that I'm stitching right now. This is one of 63.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a long-term project, but I'm really enjoying this one a lot. This is the fabric for it, for all 63. And I actually don't have it on the right way, of course, but this is the top of the fabric. So that's how big it's going to be when it finally gets all stitched in. But I'll zoom in so you can actually see.
I think.
Am I doing the right side? No, I'm not doing the right side. I'm still not doing the right side. What? This is the right side. Okay. So this is the start of that project. I think you can see it now, right?
Here, let's try this, and then you can see what's happening.
Oh, that's a good idea too. So that is my Acadia Park start. I got the frame stitched in. Forget the floss that's just kind of hanging there.
We got some danglers here.
I think I stopped obviously right in the middle because I was probably tired.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going really well. I'm going to enjoy this project. This is kind of want to be my way of keeping track of parks we finished. So we like to travel to see national parks. We're in the habit of going about every other year with your family to go see some. Years. It has been a few years. But I'm using the project as also an excuse to go and visit parks on our own as well. So I think we're going to probably try to visit one this year. But this is my start for it. I know I was inspired by Hanukkah from the Dutch Stitcher, who's doing a world monuments, right? So the different ones around the world. This was obviously a little bit closer. Since we've been doing the national parks, I thought I would do that. Found the pattern and took a lot of planning because I'm modifying it to have like the dates on it and do like a green border to say we've did that park. It's taken me a little time to figure out how big a fabric I need, how much space I need to add, but I think it's going to be a beautiful project. It's going to be a multi-year project because it's very big. So that's as far as I am, and it's stored in that very special bag that's going to be with me for a very long time. So.
Yeah.
But that is all of my stitches. This one is actually on 20 count Aida needlework Galleria where we got it. I don't remember.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know exactly.
It wasn't labeled very well.
It wasn't labeled very well.
I think we bought it from the Silver Needle or the Inspired Needle.
One of those two probably. And it's on one. It's 1/1 with the call force. I don't think I've had to substitute anything on these. So that is my last whip for this year. We have a lot of whips. Next year I'm sure I will have a lot more whips than I have now. But for now I just have 8 whips. which is more than enough to keep me busy. So that was our WIP Parade.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed and saw some projects to help inspire you on your own cross-stitching journey.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us. If you're new, please do, like and subscribe and do all the fun things.
Yeah, we'll be back with a regular Floss Tube video. I think we're planning on filming this coming weekend.
This coming weekend.
So it'll be out next week.
It'll be out next week along with this one and our plans video.
Yeah.
So if you like what you saw, please check out our other videos and subscribe and like to us. And those who have been returning, we are grateful to have you as a part of our community and as our friends. So,
yeah, we appreciate you. We are hoping that this new year is filled with a lot of good things for all of us.
And good times with all the people that love and doing the things you love this year.
Yeah, we care about you. We hope that you're well.
Yep. And
we hope you get a lot of good stitching in this season.
And we will see you again soon.
Yeah.
Yep. Bye.
I love you.
Love you.
Bye.